What's up, everyone? We are diving back into the multiverse today for another epic. Which is What If Naruto's Secretly Political Marriage with Hinata, Part 2. You enjoy this story? Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more fanfics like this. Now, let's dive right into the fanfic. Naruto lay resting on the floor of his apartment. The time was 8 in the morning. Kurenai's team had already left for their first mission as a team. An uneasy feeling caused Naruto to stir, earlier than usual. After a couple attempts at trying to return to sleep, Naruto gave up and went on with his normal routine. Jiraiya's team was due to meet soon. Naruto woke Hinata and after several minutes, the two started off toward the usual meeting place. Naruto, however, couldn't seem to shake the uneasy feeling. Lucky for him, he wasn't alone, for his tenant, the mighty demon, had also felt uneasy. "Hey brat," the demon called out to the boy. What do you want?" Naruto asked the fox, trying hard not to alert Hinata, who was walking beside him, that he was having a conversation with the demon fox. "You feel it too, don't you?" Kyuubi asked. "If you mean this unsettling feeling, then yeah, I do." "What is it?" Naruto asked. "I believe it is coming from the place where you and the Uchiha boy had your battle. I sense an evil presence. I also sense that some of your friends are heading that way," the demon told his host. "What? How can you sense things so far away?" Naruto questioned. "Even sealed within you, I am a demon. My senses haven't been lost being trapped inside you," Kyuubi replied. What kind of evil do you sense?" Naruto asked with a worried expression on his face. "I believe it's the presence of the one who put a seal on you during the exam, in the forest," the demon told the boy. "Orochimaru. Damn it," Naruto replied. "You'd better hurry if you plan on catching up before it's too late," Kyuubi told Naruto. "Hinata-chan." Naruto stopped, his face started to sweat. What is it, Naruto-kun?" Hinata asked the blonde. "See, can you go ahead of me? I got to take care of something," Naruto said, not waiting for an answer as he took off running at top speed. Naruto-kun." Hinata watched the boy run away. "Something's wrong. Naruto-kun looked really nervous about something," Hinata thought to herself as she headed toward the training ground. Discover more. Books and literature. Hinata arrived and she was quickly greeted by Ino. The two waited for several minutes until Jiraiya showed up. Discover more. Books and literature. "Hinata, where's Naruto?" Jiraiya looked at the girl with curiosity. He said he had to take care of something, and then he ran off," Hinata answered. "But sensei, I'm worried. Naruto-kun, he looked really nervous about something." "It couldn't be," Jiraiya said to himself. "Say, Hinata, what direction was Naruto heading off to?" Jiraiya asked the girl. "Please don't say North Gate, please, not the North Gate. That's where the fight was. I've also been feeling an uneasy presence coming from that direction." "Naruto-kun, headed for the North Gate," Hinata answered. "Damn, I was afraid of that," Jiraiya thought as he turned to his students. "No, training today, I got to go," Jiraiya said, taking off in a hurry toward the North Gate. Jiraiya-sensei is headed the same way Naruto-kun went. What if Naruto-kun's in danger? Hinata thought to herself. "Hey Hinata-chan," Ino interrupted. "Want to follow? Something interesting seems to be happening," Ino asked the shy girl. Hinata merely replied with a nod as the two now began to head off in the same direction that Naruto and Jiraiya went. Meanwhile, Kurenai's team is just coming out of the forest. They've arrived in the Valley of the End. "So, this is the place where Naruto and the Uchiha fought," Neji said aloud. Discover more. Books and literature. "Huh, you mean Naruto and the traitor fought here?" Kiba asked curiously as he began to survey the damaged area. "Damn, must have been one hell of a fight." Discover more. Books and literature. "Sasuke-kun. Naruto." Sakura thought to herself. Her thoughts were interrupted as a barrage of kunai came racing at the team. The team dodged the attacks and looked up to see three figures standing several feet away from them. "Hello there, Kurenai-san," the tall, older ninja said with an evil grin. Who are you?" Kurenai asked, but then suddenly saw the man's face. "No, oh Orochimaru," Kurenai said in shock, fear starting to creep up on her face. "Orochimaru," Sakura said, turning her head in shock. Suddenly, the team was surprised as the three figures became two. The shortest of the three ninjas had just disappeared. But they wouldn't have to wait long to find the missing ninja. The ninja appeared before the group of genin. The ninja landed a spin kick to both Neji and Kiba, knocking them both backward. Then the ninja landed a single blow to Sakura's gut, the punch through her back, and she hit the ground. The ninja then pulled out and fired kunai at Sakura. Sakura, who was still holding her gut in pain, looked up to see the kunai racing in at her. She knew she couldn't dodge and simply closed her eyes, expecting the end to come. But suddenly clangs of metal could be heard. The pink-haired genin opened her eyes to see that the kunai get deflected and an orange blur passed her by and delivered a single kick to the enemy ninja's head. The kick threw the ninja back, knocking the mask he was wearing right off. The boy regained his ground and turned his head slightly to regain his composure as well. The Konoha ninjas stood in shock at the sudden arrival. "Who's there?" Kurenai managed to ask when they looked over and realized that a certain hyperactive blonde had appeared. "Yo, you guys alright?" Naruto asked, turning his head to face the others. "Naruto." Sakura only managed to say, still shocked. The gazes immediately went back onto the enemy ninja when he started laughing. "Naruto." The ninja turned his head and then faced the group, revealing an evil grin and a pair of Sharingan eyes. "So you came, Sasuke?" Naruto stuttered. "So, the Kyuubi brat arrives," Orochimaru said, appearing beside Sasuke. "Good. You saved us the trouble. You see, we were coming to kill you. But you saved us the trouble of having to go all the way to Konoha." "I'm grateful," Orochimaru said, smiling wickedly. "Orochimaru!" Naruto yelled. "Dai Kyuubi brat!" Orochimaru yelled, as he was about to charge. But before he could, Sasuke grabbed him by the arm forcefully, still wearing his evil grin. "Orochimaru. He is mine to kill," Sasuke said, the snake Sennin. "Ah, my apprentice is eager." "Very well. You may have the honors," Orochimaru said as he walked back over to where the silent medical ninja, Kabuto, stood. "Naruto, I've come to kill you. So, shall we pick up where we left off last time?" Sasuke said to the blonde. "No, let's start all over. This is a new fight, and you won't beat me, Sasuke," Naruto said with confidence. "Then let's go, Naruto," Sasuke yelled as the two ninjas charged each other. They both pulled out a kunai. The two collided, metal against metal. The two then circled around and fired the kunai at each other at a great speed. The kunai clanged and flew off in different directions as the two former teammates charged in at each other again. The two began with a series of punch-kick combos. The two exchanged punches and kicks, each move landing its mark, connecting with force. The groups of ninja looked on. Discover more. Books. Books and literature. "Damn, that Naruto, he and Sasuke are just beating the crap out of each other," Kiba commented on the fight as the two exchanged blows again. The two jumped back away from each other. Sasuke began to perform several quick seals. Naruto was already readying a technique of his own. "Kage Bunshin no Jutsu," Naruto yelled as 7 clones appeared and charged in. Sasuke in the meantime finished his seals. "Kaden. Hausenka no Jutsu," Sasuke yelled, firing several fireballs, all of which struck the clones, causing them to disappear. Naruto emerged through the smoke and tried to deliver a punch to Sasuke's face. Sasuke, however, dodged swiftly and then landed a spin kick. The force of the kick sent Naruto flying. Naruto, however, regained his composure and put on the brakes as he came to a skidding stop. Sasuke took this time to charge up his new signature move as chakra filled his right hand. "Chidori," Sasuke said as he charged at Naruto. Naruto, however, expected this and already had his move prepared. "Rasengan," Naruto said as the blue ball of chakra filled his hand and he charged at Sasuke. The two attacks collided. The force threw the two in opposite directions. They flew back out of control. Orochimaru caught his apprentice and sat him down so he could regain his ground. Meanwhile, familiar hands then caught Naruto as a cloud of smoke filled the area. "Hey Naruto, don't get careless," the person said, dropping Naruto on his butt. "What? Who's that?" Naruto wondered. "Orochimaru, I thought I smelled the presence of a snake this morning." The person yelled. "Who's speaking?" Orochimaru wondered, looking over to the group of Konoha ninjas. "Oh, it's you, Jiraiya," Orochimaru said, realizing it was his former teammate as the smoke cleared. Ero Sennin, what are doing here? Naruto asked looking at his sensei, when suddenly Ino and Hinata dropped down beside Naruto. Sorry, Naruto-kun, I told Jiraiya sensei about what happened and he immediately headed this way, Hinata answered. It's alright, Hinata-chan, Naruto told the shy girl. Hinata-sama, what are you doing here? Neji asked his cousin. Me and Ino followed Jiraiya sensei when he went after Naruto-kun, Hinata answered. Well, be careful. Naruto is battling with the Uchiha now, Neji told the arriving ninjas. Huh, Sasuke-kun's here? Ino asked. Ino. Sakura weakly said to the blonde, getting her attention. Sakura, what happened? Ino asked, rushing to her friend's side. That bastard Sasuke attacked us, Kiba answered. Sasuke-kun did this? Ino asked, looking at Sakura, who managed to nod. Jiraiya, don't interrupt Sasuke-kun's fight. Orochimaru yelled, interrupting the genin. Don't you worry. I won't interfere, because I'll have my hands full fighting you, Jiraiya replied. Sorry, Jiraiya-sama, but Orochimaru-sama won't be your opponent, the silver-haired sound ninja interrupted. I will be your opponent. I see, Orochimaru, you're still getting others to fight your own fights, Jiraiya added. Tools are meant to be used, Orochimaru answered with a smile. Suddenly, the group is interrupted again by the arrival of another familiar face. Yo, the silver-haired Konoha ninja said, appearing before the group. Kakashi, what are you doing here? Kurenai asked the arriving ninja. I was on my way back from my last mission and I sort of sensed what was going on. I had no idea you were all having this little party, Kakashi answered. Jiraiya-sama, Kakashi started turning to face the older ninja. Kabuto, he's mine. You'll get to face Orochimaru after all, Kakashi told the Toad Hermit. You hear that? Jiraiya yelled. You get to join in the fun after all. Jiraiya told his former teammate. As all this was going on, Naruto and Sasuke had already resumed the fight by landing several more punches to each other's body. As this is happening, Jiraiya and Orochimaru headed away to begin their fight. Kabuto and Kakashi ran into the forest to begin their fight as well. Kurenai and her team, as well as Hinata and Ino, stayed to view Naruto and Sasuke's fight. However, Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, Naruto yelled as 6 clones appeared and charged. Sasuke wasted no time destroying them, swiftly and effectively. Come on Naruto, this won't work. You already know that, Sasuke told the blonde. Try this. Naruto yelled. Taju Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. Naruto yelled as the area filled with over 100 clones, they all surrounded and attacked Sasuke. Sasuke quickly jumped into the air and performed several seals. Naruto, witness what Orochimaru has taught me. Sasuke yelled, completing his seals. Kaden. Karyu Enden. Sasuke yelled as he fired down below onto Naruto's clones with an extremely powerful flame blast. All the clones are instantly destroyed and Naruto himself fled from out of the flames, his arms covered his head to avoid taking any of the damage. But as Sasuke landed on his feet, he quickly performed hand seals and prepared yet another attack as Naruto started to recover from the last attack. Kaden. Gukaku no Jutsu. Sasuke yelled as he fired at Naruto. The flames approached Naruto quickly and began to engulf him, but Naruto was quick to perform some seals of his own. Sweden. Sujinheki. Naruto yelled as a 360-degree barrier of water surrounded Naruto and put out the flames. This temporarily threw off Sasuke, allowing Naruto to charge in and try and land another punch. Sasuke was quick to regain his composure and moved, avoiding the punch, and with an evil grin he spun underneath Naruto and kicked him high into the air, and then quickly jumped up after Naruto as he began to mimic a certain taijutsu specialist. Shishi Renden. Sasuke yelled as his leg drove down into Naruto's chest. Sasuke spun and stopped beside Naruto, breathing heavily, trying to regain himself from that last move. He was shocked when Naruto started to laugh and then the word Naruto mutters managed to confuse him further. Boom, Naruto said as he suddenly exploded, catching Sasuke in the blast and throwing him wildly, causing him to crash hard into the ground. What the hell was that? Sasuke yelled as he came to a stop and then started to stand slightly holding his left arm, which seemed to receive most of the blast. Naruto then appeared behind Sasuke and landed a punch that rocked Sasuke, allowing Naruto to perform his old signature move. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. Naruto yelled as 6 clones appeared and charged at Sasuke, each one surrounding him. Naruto, this move won't work. You're just copying me, Sasuke said to the blonde. Baka, what move are you thinking of? Naruto replied. What? Sasuke yelled wide-eyed. Kage Bunshin Daibakua. Naruto screamed, shocking the raven-haired boy as the clones one by one began to explode, throwing Sasuke back and forth, causing him to scream in pain. Sasuke landed on the ground, but he immediately staggered to his feet, but once again he was surprised as 5 Narutos emerged from out of the ground, exactly the same way Naruto beat Neji. The 5 Narutos then began to attack Sasuke. Uzumaki. The clones yelled, all disappearing after their attacks. Sasuke looked up to see Naruto in the air above him coming down to finish the attack. Naruto Renden. Naruto yelled, striking Sasuke with a kick to the head, sending Sasuke down to the ground. But as Sasuke was about to land, he braced himself with his hands, and then after hitting the ground he immediately pushed off awkwardly, causing him to spin, allowing him to quickly get back on his feet as Naruto landed. The two charged in again, but this time they both landed crushing blows to each other's faces. The punches threw the two in opposite directions. This time, however, nobody was there to stop them as they both crashed to the ground. The two lay there for several minutes. Finally, the two began to rise to their feet, breathing heavily, returning to their original stances, and giving each other an intense stare. You see, Naruto, this is our fight. But this isn't enough. You know what we must do now. Sasuke yelled at the blonde. You see, I know your secret. Sasuke continued. Come, Naruto. Let's see it. Prove your strength to me. Sasuke yelled as he activated his curse seal, his body now being surrounded in the eerie, evil, purple aura, as those strange marks appeared all over Sasuke's body. I see, Naruto said as he unzipped his orange jacket and pulled it off. Naruto then took off his Konoha head protector and bundled it with his jacket and tossed it in the direction of his comrades. Fine, if that's how you want it, Sasuke. Naruto shouted as he began to be surrounded by the red chakra. Keep it together. Don't lose control this time, Naruto thought as the blazing, fire-like chakra wrapped around his body. The force of the chakra totally obliterated the black shirt Naruto was wearing, leaving his chest bare, his seal fully visible on his navel. Naruto then reached into his pocket and tied another Konoha head protector around his head. But this one was a little different, it had a scratch in it. Upon seeing it, the raven-haired boy immediately recognized it. That's my. Sasuke started. Yeah, that's right. Naruto interrupted, shouting at his former comrade. Are you ready, Naruto? Sasuke asked. Yes. Naruto replied. Let's see whose strength is real. Sasuke, I will win. Naruto yelled. Come, Naruto. Sasuke yelled as the two readied themselves to strike once again. As the battle of the former teammates was about to resume, two separate battles were already taking place. Kakashi, the copy ninja, and Kabuto, the sound medic, and also, two of the 3 legendary Sannin, faced off, Jiraiya and Orochimaru. 2 Sannin faced off on top of the 2 giant carvings that lead into the Valley of the End. Meanwhile, Kabuto and Kakashi were in the forest, trees, grass, and a lake was the atmosphere that the two were facing off on. Kabuto, shall we begin? The Konoha Junin asked his rival. Yes, I think we should, Kakashi-san, Kabuto said as he focused his chakra in his hands, and Kabuto then launched his attack, charging in with lefts and rights. Kakashi uncovered his eye immediately and began dodging the attacks. Kakashi on the defensive was backed up against a tree. Kabuto thrust his hand forward, but Kakashi ducked and Kabuto cut through the tree. It's as I thought, chakra no Mesu. He's using his hands like kunai, with chakra focused like that, he could probably cut through just about anything, Kakashi thought to himself. I've got to be very careful. Kakashi can no doubt copy any move he desires from me. If I screw up, I could have my own techniques used against me, Kabuto thought to himself, gauging the situation. Kabuto continued to strike with his hands. Kakashi ducked again and used a nearby tree to run up, and then did a flip, and landed behind Kabuto, and connected with a spin kick, which sent Kabuto back. Discover more. Books and literature. Dokugiri. Kabuto yelled as he turned and emitted a poisonous mist from out of his mouth. Damn. Poison. I bet it's even capable of going through my mask. Kakashi thought to himself as he performed several hand seals. Sweden. Sujinheki. Kakashi yelled quickly, creating a barrier of water to wash away the poison mist. As the water settled, Kabuto fired kunai at Kakashi, who swiftly dodged. The two exchanged a round of taijutsu moves before they back off and rethought their strategies. Meanwhile, the two Sannin faced off. So Orochimaru, want to start this off big? Jiraiya asked, grinning at his former teammate. You read my mind, Orochimaru said, as he performed several seals and fired off an attack. Kaden. Karyu Enden. Orochimaru fired off a super powerful blast of fire. Ah, I'll see that, and raise you this. Sweden. Sushuaha. Jiraiya said as he fired back, creating a huge tidal wave. The water collided with the fire, canceling out each other. The two exchanged attacks, and then quickly backed off. Orochimaru immediately performed several more seals and attacked once again. Fuden. Daitapa. Orochimaru fired off the jutsu, creating a vicious windstorm. I don't think so, Orochimaru, Jiraiya yelled, performing several seals. Doden. Doryuden. Jiraiya finished as a dragon made of sand, dirt, and mud emerged from the ground and began firing off missiles made of earth. Jiraiya continued with another set of seals. Kaden. Karyuden. Jiraiya finished as he fired missiles made of fire from his mouth. As they combined with the earth missiles, the attacks collided with such force that the two attacks exploded. The two Sannin jumped out of the way of the blast, and the two immediately began with another set of seals to perform attacks. This time Jiraiya fired first. Discover more. Books and literature. Books. Sweden. Tepudama. Jiraiya began firing balls of chakra-infused water at Orochimaru. Orochimaru quickly countered. Discover more. Books. Books and literature. Doden. Doryuheki. Orochimaru yelled as a large stone wall arose from the ground and stopped the oncoming attack. The two Hokage-level ninja continued their attacks. Meanwhile, Kakashi and Kabuto resumed their battle, exchanging another set of taijutsu moves. Kabuto, however, managed to slip by Kakashi and hit both Kakashi's left arm and left leg with his hands infused with chakra. Kakashi immediately dropped to his knees as his arm and leg went limp, and now Kakashi was on the defensive, trying his best to avoid Kabuto's attacks. Kakashi managed to catch Kabuto off guard by fully swinging his body around and landing a hard kick to Kabuto's head with his limp left leg. Now, before he recovers, I've got to regain movement in my limbs, Kakashi said to himself as he closed his eyes. 8 gates. First initial gate release. Second, heel gate, release. Kakashi searched deep within him and opened the first 2 gates. Immediately chakra began to flow heavily. Kakashi quickly channeled chakra into his arm and leg, and has now regained full mobility. What? He opened 2 of the gates. I never guessed he learned how to open any of the gates, Kabuto thought to himself as he received a spin kick to his head, which the force sent Kabuto spinning and landing hard on the ground. Kabuto moved in time to avoid oncoming kunai. But Kabuto wasn't able to avoid the shuriken as 4 of them struck him. 3 hit his right shoulder and 1 stabbed his left leg. Damn, got to come up with a distraction, Kabuto said to himself as he performed several hand seals and then slammed his hand on the ground. Kuchio's number jutsu, Kabuto said as he summoned a giant snake. Kabuto quickly jumped away from the snake as it attacked Kakashi, trashing around, striking anything in its way. Kabuto immediately began healing his wounds. Meanwhile, Kakashi kept avoiding the snake and then performed several hand seals of his own. Doden. Yomi Numa, Kakashi said as a large swamp of mud appeared underneath the snake, drawing it in. As Kabuto finished healing, Kakashi was already rushing in. Kabuto prepared by channeling chakra in his hands once again, but as he started to charge, Kakashi finished another set of seals. Doden. Doryu Taiga. Kakashi finished as river of mud formed underneath Kabuto, causing him to slip. Kakashi took this time to race in with kunai in hand, but Kabuto regained his footing and managed to hit Kakashi in the chest with his chakra-powered hand. Kakashi was pushed back. His breathing began to get heavy as he dropped to his knees, desperately trying to catch his breath. Kakashi-san, it looks like I got you, Kabuto said, slowly approaching the injured ninja. Too bad, I was hoping for a glimpse at the copy ninja's real strength. Kabuto grabbed Kakashi and struck his neck, slicing Kakashi's head right off. That was disappointing, Kabuto said with a smile, but the smile didn't last long as the falling body turned into a log. Damn. Kawarimi no jutsu. I fell for such a basic attack. Kabuto cursed at his foolishness as an injured Kakashi appeared behind him, landing a kick that sent Kabuto flying into the shallow lake. As the sound ninja got up, Kakashi was already behind him performing hand seals. Sweden. Suiryuden no jutsu. Kakashi finished as a dragon made of pure water arose from the lake. The dragon lifted Kabuto into the air and slammed him into the ground hard as the force of the water beat down on him. Kakashi then prepared one final attack. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. Kakashi yelled, producing 5 clones that all surrounded Kabuto. Kabuto staggered to his feet and looked on in horror as all the clones were performing the same seals as chakra formed in Kakashi's hand. Reikiri. The Kakashis yelled as all of them charged at Kabuto. Not yet. I've got something I need to do before I die, Kabuto said to himself as he performed several seals and then disappeared in a puff of smoke. The clones stopped as Kabuto vanished, leaving Kakashi alone. Sensing his opponent was gone, he leaned his back up against a tree to try and rest. Damn, he got me really good, Kakashi said aloud, grabbing his chest. I'm sorry, I won't be able to help anyone for a while. Kakashi fell unconscious. The two legendary ninja now stare each other down. It's a shame, Orochimaru. Jiraiya yelled. What are you talking about, Jiraiya? Orochimaru asked. Sarutobi-sensei really thought the world of you. It really is a shame he wasted so much time on you and you still never learned the basic lessons of life. You care about your jutsus and gaining power. But you have no idea what true strength is. The fourth, he knew. That's why he was chosen, Jiraiya said to his former teammate. Jiraiya, trying to preach your garbage to someone who doesn't care is just a waste of your breath. If I'm not the proof that strength comes from what you're able to master, then what about our apprentices? Your brat lost to Sasuke-kun, they're fighting now and Sasuke-kun is still winning, Orochimaru said with an evil smile. Yes, and why were you coming all the way to Konoha again? Oh, to kill Naruto, right? It's because you're scared of him. You're scared of him because he's the fourth's legacy. Everything you hated about the fourth is what you see in Naruto. You weren't able to kill the fourth, so what better than to kill the next best thing? You want to kill the fourth's legacy. It's quite laughable, Jiraiya said, annoying the snake Sennin further. Jiraiya, shut up, Orochimaru yelled as he performed several seals and attacked again. Kaden. Karyu Enden. Orochimaru yelled, firing the powerful attack off again. You're so boring. You've already used this move. Jiraiya yelled. Kaden. Karyu Enden. Jiraiya yelled, performing the exact same move. The attacks collided and cancelled each other out. Jiraiya quickly emerged out of the smoke and laid into Orochimaru with severe taijutsu. His kicks and punches landed with such force Orochimaru was literally being flung around. Orochimaru finally stopped the momentum by expelling poison gas from his mouth like Kabuto had done in his fight with Kakashi. This caused Jiraiya to back away until he was safely free from harm. The two waited for the gas to clear before they began again. The Sannin were about to finish their fight, Naruto and Sasuke were about to restart theirs, the fate of two great ninjas from the past, and the future were about to be told. Two former teammates stood preparing to face off. The real battle and the outcome were about to be told. Come Naruto, Sasuke yelled at his former teammate. The two ninjas started off by charging at each other again, a quick exchange of blows and the two flipped and backed away from each other. Sasuke had already prepared an attack. Kaden. Hausenka no Jutsu. Sasuke yelled, firing 6 fireballs at Naruto. What's Sasuke thinking? Naruto thought to himself as he finished performing seals of his own. Sweden. Sujinheki. Naruto yelled as water barrier emerged. The fireballs collided with the water and as the flames were put out, 6 shuriken were revealed, they were hidden within the fireballs. The shuriken all struck Naruto in the arm and chest. Damn, forgot he could do that, Naruto thought to himself as Sasuke charged through the water and landed a kick to Naruto's gut, causing him to skid back. Discover more. Books and literature. Naruto. Sasuke started yelling, performing several hand seals. Here. This is something else I picked up from Orochimaru. Sasuke yelled as he slammed his hand on the ground. Naruto immediately knew what jutsu Sasuke performed. Kuchio's number jutsu. Sasuke yelled, as a giant snake replaced the ground below him. The snake immediately started lunging itself at Naruto, who kept jumping away avoiding the snake's attempts to swallow him. No you don't Sasuke. Naruto yelled quickly performing several hand seals. Kuchios. Yutai Kuzushi no Jutsu. Naruto screamed as a giant toad emerged from the sky and landed on the giant snake crushing it and causing Sasuke to jump off to avoid being squashed himself. The two giant creatures then disappeared in a puff of smoke as the two genin charged each other through the smoke. They both managed to land another set of crushing blows, the force pushed them both back. Naruto prepared another attack. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. Naruto yelled as 10 clones emerged and surrounded Sasuke. Each clone took its time delivering a punch or a kick. The clones knocked Sasuke back and forth until Naruto himself charged and landed a hard punch to Sasuke's jaw, throwing the raven-haired boy to the ground. Sasuke stood back up and began to laugh. Naruto, this isn't enough. More. Sasuke yelled, starting to laugh as his hair began to grow longer and turned gray. His curse seal level 2 has been activated, and the evil almost demonic aura shocked the Konoha genin looking on. SS Sasuke-kun. Sakura stuttered in shock. Damn, Sasuke turned into a demon, Kiba managed to say as they all focused on the fight. The crowd got another shocker as decrepit wings began to sprout out of Sasuke's back. As this happened, Naruto also began to change. Please, give me all you got. Naruto said to himself, asking the demon within him. His burning chakra flared intensely. The form of an enormous fox loomed over Naruto's head, as it let out a mighty roar. The killer intent from the roar knocked Sakura and Ino to their knees as tears started to pour from their faces in pure terror. Hinata stood shaken as well. Akamaru quickly found himself inside Kiba's jacket. But Neji, seeing everyone fearing Naruto, turned to his fellow comrades. No, don't you guys dare act like you're afraid of Naruto. Neji yelled, getting everyone's attention. He's our friend, our comrade, and even with a curse like his, carrying the hatred of the village for something he had no say in, he fights for us, for the village, never fear him. Neji said as Hinata, Sakura, and Ino snapped their attention back onto Naruto. Discover more. Books. Books and literature. Neji ni-san, why you're right. Naruto-kun's fighting with all he has to win this fight, Hinata replied. Discover more. Books and literature. Books. What curse are you talking about? Ino asked, looking puzzled. All will be revealed soon, Neji replied as all of the Konoha ninja turned back to focus on Naruto. His claws and fangs grew, his eyes more intent, the form of the demon fox surrounded his body, but this fox was different than last time. This fox didn't have one tail. It had two. The tails swayed back and forth in their own chakra. The tails swiped the ground, causing it to crack. So this is it after all. Sasuke yelled as a black chakra filled his hand and then he charged. Naruto's hand filled with a deadly red ball ready to strike as well. The killer intent filled the air. Both attacks were aimed for the death blow. But suddenly, Naruto's mind flashed back. All his memories came to the surface. No, this isn't how it needs to be. This is it. Sasuke, I will get you back. Naruto thought to himself, his eyes turned back to their normal blue state. The red ball turned blue and then disappeared. Naruto's eyes filled with sorrow as they meet face to face with Sasuke's own eyes. Naruto spread his arms, invitingly. This action caused Sasuke's reaction to change. What? No, Naruto. Sasuke's body returned to normal and his Chidori turned back to its normal color, but the force and speed of his Chidori was too great. Sasuke's technique ripped through Naruto's chest, leaving everyone including Sasuke looking on in shock and horror. Naruto. You. Sasuke said in shock. Naruto. Sakura yelled. No, Naruto-kun. Hinata managed to summon enough strength to yell. Naruto. Why? Sasuke yelled at his former teammate. Because. Naruto started as he coughed up blood. I could never kill my brother. Naruto weakly said, coughing up more blood as he began to fall. As Naruto fell, Sasuke caught him in his arms. I hate you. I wanted to kill you. So why damn it? Sasuke yelled. Why you are my very important brother. Naruto managed to say. Naruto. The words Naruto said to Sasuke, like a trigger, something came out deep from within Sasuke. Something nobody had ever seen from the boy. Tears. Tears streamed down his face as he began to cry. Naruto, why you can't? All the spectators were still left in shock, including the two fighting Sannin. Jiraiya immediately stopped and looked over at Naruto when all this had taken place. Naruto. Jiraiya yelled with concern looking at the seriously injured boy. Now is my chance, Orochimaru thought to himself as he turned toward Jiraiya. Seniyashu. Orochimaru yelled as snakes shot out from his arm and quickly surrounded and trapped Jiraiya, causing him to fall to the ground, struggling to break free. Orochimaru quickly raced over to his apprentice, as he opened his mouth and a snake emerged spitting out a sword. Orochimaru wielded the sword as he made his way over to Sasuke, who was holding Naruto, crying aloud and battling with his inner self. Good work Sasuke-kun. Now quickly, move so that I may finish the Kyuubi brat, Orochimaru said. The heartless words also triggered something within Sasuke. His body began to shake, his hand filled with chakra as anger appeared on his face. Discover more. Books and literature. Books. Don't you dare touch Naruto or. Sasuke started to yell as he turned with a great speed. I'll kill you. Sasuke yelled as the Chidori pierced through the right side of Orochimaru's chest. The force of Sasuke's Chidori caused his sound head protector to fall to the ground as the snake Sennin coughed up some blood. The snake Sennin looked down at his apprentice in shock. How dare you? How dare you betray me Sasuke? Orochimaru yelled in anger. Orochimaru, still stuck with the Chidori, managed to make several seals. Sasuke, it would seem my curse seal is too good for you. I guess I'll just take it back now. Unseal. Orochimaru yelled as his hand came down onto Sasuke's neck and it appeared that he actually ripped the curse seal right off of Sasuke's neck. Sasuke screamed in horrible agony as the evil chakra expelled rapidly from his body. Suddenly, blood started to shoot out from many points on Sasuke's body as if his body was being destroyed from within. Orochimaru then pulled himself away from Sasuke and merely backhanded the Uchiha boy. The force sent Sasuke flying through a nearby tree and stopping as he collided into a second tree. The boy crashed to the ground, still screaming in pure agony. Meanwhile, Naruto made a request to his tenant. Please, allow me this one final selfish request. This is our chance, please. Naruto asked to himself, the demon chakra surrounding the critically injured boy, blood pouring from the wound rapidly as the chakra seemingly lifted Naruto to his feet. Kyuubi brat, please allow me to kill you with something special, Orochimaru said to Naruto. You see, an apprentice isn't the only one that can learn. A sensei can indeed learn as well, Orochimaru said as he performed his apprentice's signature technique. Let me kill you with Sasuke's favorite ability, the Chidori. Orochimaru yelled as he raced in at the blonde genin. As he charged, a huge red ball of chakra emerged in Naruto's hand. Orochimaru was about to reach Naruto, the two only a few feet away from each other, but suddenly someone appeared before them in a puff of smoke. The Chidori from Orochimaru pierced him in the chest as blood sprayed everywhere. Naruto, his fellow Konoha ninja, and Orochimaru especially are all shocked as the person standing before them was a certain silver-haired ninja, wearing glasses. The sound ninja coughed up blood and he gazed evilly at Orochimaru. Kabuto, why would you? Orochimaru asked in shock. Orochimaru, I've waited for this day for so long, the silver-haired ninja said. Why would you betray me? Orochimaru asked. It's simple, revenge. Kabuto yelled. What? Orochimaru managed to say, still in shock. I was never from Konoha, that much is known. During the last big war with Konoha, my parents were killed and I was brought back. My parents were killed because of the war, that's what was said. But that wasn't the truth, was it? No, it was you who killed my family. Kabuto yelled at the snake Sennin. You had it planned perfectly. You were already a missing nin. You had already left Konoha. But you were already starting to plan it out. You would hide under the veil of war and sneak into villages, weaving your seeds of hatred in hopes of eventually building a strong army. Anyone who you sensed that might have potential in the future, you'd kill any attachments they had in secret and later approach him or her with offers they couldn't refuse. It was the same with me. Kabuto continued, coughing up more blood. You thought I couldn't see you do it, but I did. I saw you murder everyone. Then later, you approached me and got me to be found by a Konoha medic. It was back then that I started to plot your destruction, and now finally, it's time. Kabuto yelled as he pulled himself away from Orochimaru, then he spun around and grabbed Orochimaru tightly, around his arms, trapping Orochimaru's movements and keeping him from performing any jutsus. Kabuto, let go of me. Orochimaru yelled, struggling to break free of Kabuto's grip. Naruto-kun. Kabuto shouted, turning his head to face Naruto. Please hurry up, and do it now. This is your only chance. Kabuto yelled. What? But you're. Naruto started to reply. No, just do it. Please, I planned it this way. I knew I'd have to do terrible deeds to get as close to Orochimaru as I have. Let me do this and die repenting for my sins. Please, Naruto-kun, hurry. Kabuto screamed. Kabuto, please stop this, Orochimaru pleaded. You're pathetic, the great snake Sennin, begging for your life. You're not even good enough for hell. Kabuto yelled. Yeah, he's right. This is it. Our only shot, please. This will be my last request. Give me all you got. Naruto pleaded with Demon, and his own body asking it to allow him to move. The boy charged with all he had. Naruto shoved the ball of chakra deep into the hole in Orochimaru's chest as the evil snake Sennin's face filled with fear. The ball, which was compressed of enormous demon chakra, exploded inside Orochimaru's body. Kabuto somehow managed to use his body shield Naruto from the blast as the bodies of Kabuto and Orochimaru absorbed the blast and were lifted into the air. The force blew the forehead protector Naruto was wearing, Sasuke's head protector clean off his head as it landed several feet away. The smoke soon settled and the bodies hit the ground. Kabuto landed on his chest as blood began to soak the ground. Discover more. Books and literature. N. Naruto-kun. Thank you. Kabuto managed to say, smiling as he allowed death to consume him. At the same time Orochimaru's body touched the ground and it too had begun to stain it with blood. Orochimaru's torso, or what was left of it, lay lifeless, his body was completely missing its entire right side, and his right leg barely attached to anything. The corpse would sicken even the strongest of men. Naruto witnessed Kabuto's death and then coughed up more blood as he fell onto his back. His teammates immediately raced over to him. Hinata was the first to arrive as she dropped to her knees beside his body, tears falling freely from her face at the sight of the boy's badly injured body. Oh God, no, the only thing Ino could manage to say at the sight of her fallen teammate. Meanwhile Jiraiya was finally freed from Orochimaru's jutsu and began to make his way over to Naruto. Sasuke began to do the same. Sasuke's body weakened and racked by pain began to crawl over to Naruto. Naruto, please, why you can't die. Sasuke managed to think to himself as he realized he'd never be able to reach Naruto. His eyes began to get blurry, but he continued to crawl. Finally his outstretched hand touched something metal. Sasuke managed to look up. He saw a Konoha head protector lying on the ground. It had a scratch through it. Sasuke gripped it tightly in his hand and then he passed out, refusing to let it go. N. Naruto-kun. Naruto-kun, Hinata cried. Please. Don't go. Why you can't leave me? Hinata-chan. As all Naruto could say as his body started to go limp and his eyes began to go lifeless. No. Naruto-kun. Hinata pleaded with the dying boy, tears streaming down her face. Don't leave me. I love you. Hinata said to the boy, as his eyes closed, accepting the darkness. The Konoha genin all looked on. Sakura and Ino could no longer hold back their tears as they dropped to the ground to cry as well. Kiba looked away, not wanting anyone to see his sadness. For almost all the genin, this was the first time they had to deal with the death of someone close to them. As the genin grieve, one stood right above the body of his fallen comrade. The white-eyed genin boy watched his cousin hug the boy's body, crying deeply. Even Jiraiya turned his head. This is the second time now. First it was my father and now it's Naruto. Must I continue to be too weak to save those who I hold dear to me? Neji thought to himself, as he looked up into the sky and watched the birds fly by. Meanwhile, inside the navel of the dead genin. Hey brat, damn you and your selfishness. I don't like the choices you've given me. Death or death. What kind of choices are they really? The demon said aloud. Very well then, be glad brat. I've grown to like you. For this will be my final gift to you. With those words suddenly, the seal broke. The seal on Naruto's navel appeared again. This time it turned colors and started to glow, a fiery red. Suddenly, shooting out of the seal in a blaze of glorious orange and red, the Kyuubi no Kitsune emerged in chakra form hovering in the sky above everyone. The genin quickly retreated back several feet, everyone except Hinata who gripped her love, not letting her leave. The seal on Naruto's navel disappeared, as the giant beast made of pure chakra flew straight into Naruto's wounds. The hole in his chest and all of his previous injuries healed up completely, and all became eerily silent. That was until Hinata began to sob once again. Unable to bear the death of the one she loved, her tears began to form, and as they started to fall down her face, everyone, especially Hinata, was shocked as a hand gently swiped away the tears. Hey! The shy Hyuga girl stared down in shock. The blonde's eyes barely cracked open, but he managed to smile upon her. Be beautiful girls shouldn't cry. The blonde said smiling. And I love you too, Naruto managed to say as he passed out. His breathing was slow, and Hinata placed an ear to his chest. She began to cry once again as she heard his heartbeat. But this time, these were tears of joy. Her comrades walked over to her and joined her. The other two girls were crying with her. The two boys stared with slight grins on their faces. Father, you see now why I value him. He is even able to cheat death. His power to change destiny. I will stay by him. I'll grow strong, and learn to believe that destiny can be changed, Neji said to himself as the genin looked back down at his unconscious comrade. Jiraiya turned his head and looked down upon the dead body of Kabuto. He was just another victim. All this time, he wanted closure in his life. I believe he got it. I believe he'll rest in peace, Jiraiya said, and then looked over to view his former teammate. He was shocked temporarily to see that Orochimaru's body was nowhere to be found. I see. So the snake manages to escape. But that doesn't matter. Orochimaru, it'll take you many years before your body returns to normal. By then, the Great Will of the Third will have been passed on. A powerful Hokage will emerge, and he'll be able to stop you, Jiraiya said, staring at Naruto's unconscious body. The Great Will of the Third, and the legacy of the Fourth. Orochimaru, your evil reign is over. From now on you get to live with the embarrassment of never being able to accomplish your goals. So go on and live forever. You'll live forever alone to suffer with your own weaknesses. As Jiraiya finished his thoughts, a certain silver-haired Junin emerged from the forest, barely keeping his balance by bracing against a tree. His fellow Junin quickly came to his aid. Kakashi, hey, are you alright? Kurenai asked her fellow comrade. I'll be fine with rest. Naruto and Sasuke. Kakashi started and was interrupted. They're fine. The fight is over. Sasuke got the decisive blow, but he didn't win the battle. It was Naruto who won, Kurenai told the Junin, and was shocked to see Kabuto's body lying lifeless on the ground. Kabuto, Kakashi started to say. He's dead. He betrayed Orochimaru. His betrayal is the reason why Naruto won. You could say that defeating Orochimaru was done by the combined team of Naruto, Sasuke, and Kabuto, Kurenai told her comrade. Oh, I see, Kakashi said as Kurenai put his arm over her shoulder and began to walk him over to Jiraiya. Oh, Kakashi, you're still alive, Jiraiya said to the Junin. Jiraiya-sama, are you alright? Kakashi asked the older ninja. I'm fine, just some busted ribs, a broken hand, and a fractured elbow. It's nothing really of any concern, Jiraiya said. Meanwhile, Sakura walked over and knelt beside an unconscious Sasuke. She was still holding her ribs. Sasuke-kun, Sakura said as she ran her hand through the boy's hair. Ino walked over to the pink-haired genin to check on her condition. Sakura, are you alright? Ino asked, looking concerned. Yes, I've got a broken rib or two, but I'll be fine, Sakura said, still stroking Sasuke's hair. She really loves Sasuke-kun. I thought it was just a crush like me. But I can't compete with her love for him. Sakura, he's all yours. Hopefully you'll be accepted by him, Ino thought to herself. Come on. Let's get you back to the village, Ino said, helping the girl up. The Junin and Jiraiya walked over to the group. Kurenai instructed Kiba to carry Sasuke back, and Neji insisted on helping Naruto. What about the mission? Kiba said, turning to face his sensei. Kiba, this is more important. I'm afraid we'll have to back out this time. But don't worry, there will be others. Just remember that, as long as you're alive, there will be others, Kurenai told her student as she gazed upon the unconscious forms of Naruto and Sasuke. The group from Konoha headed back toward Konoha. Jiraiya joined them shortly after he finished burying Kabuto's body. Jiraiya-sensei, why bury a traitor? Ino asked her sensei. Simple really, it's the same reason why Kiba has a traitor over his shoulder. They may have betrayed us, and caused us great pain, but in the end, they are our comrades. Naruto believed in Sasuke and knew that deep down Sasuke was good. Kabuto led a life full of vengeance, and when it came due to it, he aided us at the cost of his life. In the end, all shinobi deserve a decent burial, Jiraiya answered the girl. Well then, did you bury that Orochimaru guy as well? Ino asked, unaware that the body had disappeared. No, I left him to rot, Jiraiya answered, not letting anyone know that the body was gone. I said shinobi deserve a decent burial. Orochimaru, he stopped being a true shinobi a long time ago, Jiraiya told his student as the group all together continued back toward Konoha. The mission may have been interrupted, the training session might have been put off. But all the young genin who observed the fight that day learned a very valuable lesson. Jutsu list. They sat by his side. Over the years, the hyperactive blonde genin never thought he'd have anyone that would care for him. 1 year ago at this time, he'd still be alone. Now, sitting by his bedside waiting for him to awaken, the girl he loved, and who loved him back, not willing to leave his side for a moment, also there by his side, the first person to show him acceptance. Iruka, the chunin in charge of the ninja academy, also sat by his bedside, and also joining them in looking over the genin, his previous and current senseis, Kakashi and Jiraiya. The boy slowly began to stir, the light shining in the room and on his face caused him to awaken. His eyes slowly began to open. Naruto-kun, he's waking up, the only girl in the room said to the others. I'll go get the Hokage-sama, Iruka said, rushing out of the room. Where am I? Naruto asked, awakening. Naruto-kun, you're in the hospital. You were seriously injured, for a moment you almost didn't make it, in fact you died or you were dead, Hinata answered. Discover more. Books and literature. Books. Oh, I don't feel dead, Naruto said as he opened his eyes to gaze on his love's face. Ah, you're perfect. Definitely the best thing I could see upon awakening, Naruto said with a smile. But then he noticed that something didn't seem right. Hinata's face looked at him with great concern. Hinata-chan, what's wrong? Naruto asked the girl. Naruto-kun, why your eyes? Hinata answered. What? My eyes? What's wrong with them? Naruto asked as Tsunade and Iruka entered the room. Ah, Naruto, you're awake. I'm glad, Tsunade said, walking up to the boy. Just relax. I need to examine you. Tsunade Obakan, Hinata-chan says something's wrong with my eyes, Naruto said as he started to get worried. Oh really? Let me see, Tsunade said as she stared into Naruto's eyes. I see, as to be expected, side effects from the merger, Tsunade said. What the hell is going on? What's wrong with me? What merger? Naruto started to yell but was quickly silenced by receiving a giant bump on the head from Tsunade's fist. Shut up, brat. This is a hospital, Tsunade yelled at the boy. You're setting a fine example, Jiraiya muttered. What was that, Jiraiya? Tsunade said, turning to face her former teammate with an evil grin on her face. I didn't say a word, Jiraiya answered back. Discover more. Books and literature. Books. I didn't think so, Tsunade said, turning back toward Naruto. Now, are you going to shut up and listen, Naruto? Fine. Just don't hit me again, Naruto answered. Alright, basically you were dead thanks to Sasuke's attack. But from examining you while you were unconscious, and also with a little help from Hinata and her Byakugan, it appears the seal had broken. When you died, your seal broke and released the Kyuubi, Tsunade told the boy. What? Naruto yelled in shock only to receive another fist. Anyway, for whatever reason, the demon gave up its own life and merged with you. You dumb fox. Naruto thought to himself. I can't believe you gave up your life for me. Naruto, what I meant by side effects are well, why don't you just take a look, Tsunade reached into her pocket and pulled out a little mirror and handed it to Naruto. Naruto looked into the mirror and was shocked at what he saw. His blue eyes were no more. They were now red, the pupil almost cat-like. They were the eyes of the Kyuubi. These are the Kyuubi's eyes, Naruto said in shock. Naruto, don't be concerned. Your eyes have changed, but you're you after all. Also, of course, with the seal being broken, the seal on your navel will no longer appear. We don't know any other side effects yet, but we imagine your chakra is going to be quite unstable for a while, but training can fix that. The only other thing that concerns us is what will happen when you get really emotional. But again, let's not worry about that right now. The good thing is, your body has healed, and you're alive, Tsunade finished. Naruto. What is it, Tsunade Obaken? Naruto asked. You're a stupid moron, Tsunade yelled as she blasted Naruto on the head with her fist. Ow, what the hell was that for? Naruto started to yell but stopped when he saw Tsunade start to cry. The village's current Hokage hugged Naruto tightly. What's wrong, Granny? Discover more. Books and literature. Books. If you ever do that again, I swear I'll kill you myself. Will you please stop making me worry so much? Tsunade said, breaking the hug and wiping the tears from her eyes. Tsunade, I have a problem, Jiraiya said. What problem? What is it, Jiraiya? Tsunade asked. Kakashi and I are having the problem actually, we can't decide what to call him. Jiraiya says to his former teammate. I'm thinking he should be Kyubito. No, Naruubi should be his name, Kakashi interrupted. No, Kakashi, I think Kyubito sounds a lot better, Jiraiya said back to the Junin. Now that you mention it, Kyubito does sound a little better, Kakashi agreed as Naruto got very annoyed. Hey, you perverted bastards. My name is Uzumaki Naruto. Never forget that. Naruto yelled as Hinata, Iruka, Tsunade, joined Kakashi and Jiraiya in laughter. After several minutes the laughing stopped and Naruto turned toward Tsunade and spoke. Tsunade Obaken. Naruto began. What is it, Naruto? Tsunade asked. What about Sasuke? How is he? Naruto asked. Uchiha Sasuke is still unconscious, he's actually in a coma. We don't know for how long. Orochimaru ripped the curse seal from his body. That almost destroyed Sasuke. We managed to heal him, now it's up to his own will, and even when he recovers, his status will still have to be questioned. It's going to be a long road to recovery for him. But thanks to you, I believe he can finally head down the correct road, Tsunade answered. Meanwhile, a certain pink-haired genin sat by the side of the boy she loved. Despite his actions, she still believed she truly loves him. She sat staring at his unconscious form. Sasuke-kun, why did you have to choose loneliness and revenge? Despite the fact that I loved you with all my heart and soul, I was even willing to betray my village for you. I don't understand. Sakura looked down upon Sasuke, tears falling from her face and onto Sasuke. He might have been unconscious, but his mind was still very active. He dreamt of his past, of his actions, all of them repeating over and over. Itachi, I want to kill you. I've lived all my life just to kill you. So why am I like this? Why can't I become strong? I chose Orochimaru thinking it was my path to strength, but that wasn't the case. He taught me techniques, but something about it all lacked strength. I felt like I hadn't truly learned anything at all. Then I learned about Naruto, his darkest secret. It all made sense, why he was so alone, why he had nothing. Naruto, I was right about you. You, like me, know true strength, because we both know true loneliness. But after all I've done, I can't be forgiven. I tried to kill you not once, but twice. I can't beat Itachi, I can't even beat Naruto. No, the only person I've managed to defeat was myself. It's for the best if I give up and die. I'd rather run away than suffer any more of this pain. I don't deserve to live, and after all I've done, nobody will mind it, if I go ahead and die. Sasuke continued to struggle internally, when he heard the sound of someone crying, calling out his name. Sasuke-kun, I love you. I love you with all my heart and soul. That much hasn't changed. It'll never change. Even if I have to wait, I'll wait here forever. Sakura cried. Discover more. Books and literature. Books. Sakura. Can she really still support me? Can it be possible that she still cares? I guess. Just one more time, I can try, Sasuke responded to hearing Sakura's voice. Discover more. Books and literature. Books. Sasuke, true strength doesn't come from revenge. Protecting those who are precious to you, that is how you obtain true strength. Sasuke remembered Kakashi's words at that moment. Just one more time, I'll try to gain my own strength. Kakashi, Naruto, it would seem you were right. Strength can't be obtained easily. Strength comes from the heart, and it seems that maybe even I can find someone precious to protect, Sasuke thought to himself as his body began to slowly stir. The crying girl still unaware, as her friend, and ex-rival Ino entered the room. Sakura, hey, you should go home and get some rest now, you've been here for hours. You're still injured you know, Ino told the pink-haired girl. Ino, I don't want to leave Sasuke-kun, Sakura said turning to her friend. You know Sakura, you must really love Sasuke-kun, and I mean I thought it was just a crush like me and the rest of the girls, but I guess not, huh? Ino asked the crying girl. I do, I love him with all that I am, Sakura answered. I can't leave him alone, it's his loneliness that has led him down the wrong path in the first place. If he wakes up with nobody here for him, he may leave again. But if he awakens to see someone who cares for him by his side, he might decide to stay. Yeah, but you need your rest, you're going to get sick. You're no good to Sasuke-kun, if you're too sick to support him. Come on now let's go, Ino said grabbing the girl by her hand as she started out the door. As Sakura got up and began to leave, she was stopped as someone else grabbed her other hand. The two girls stopped and were shocked as Sasuke is holding on to Sakura's hand, his head slightly turned facing them, his eyes barely open. Sakura, please don't leave yet, Sasuke said weakly to the girl. Sasuke-kun, Sakura said looking on in shock. Sasuke-kun is awake already. He isn't supposed to be awake yet, I'll get Hokage-sama. Sakura stay here with Sasuke-kun, Ino said rushing out of the room. Sasuke-kun, Sakura said sitting back down beside Sasuke as he sat up in his hospital bed. I can't believe it, you're awake. Sakura's words were interrupted as she gazed her eyes on Sasuke's face, especially his eyes were full of sorrow. Sakura. Sasuke's eyes began to shed tears. Sasuke-kun, was all the girl could get out as she watched him cry. How can you still support me? I betrayed Konoha, I tried to kill Naruto, I tried to kill you, and I hurt you as well. So how can it be? I thought it was just a crush, a dumb crush like all the other girls, so how come you're different? Sasuke managed to ask the girl. Sasuke-kun, it's true, it was just a crush. In the beginning I started to like you because everyone else did. But that all changed when Team 7 got together. I fell in love with you. It wasn't because you were cool, or strong, no, it's because of what I saw deep within. You always tried to hide your feelings under that mask, just how Naruto hid his pain by doing dumb things, you hid yours in your silence. You think you hid it from everyone, but you didn't. I could see it all along, the pain in your eyes, your heart, I felt like I could see into your soul. I don't know pain and suffering like you or Naruto, I have a family, I have parents, but I too know of loneliness. To me you are everything. I want to heal you, all that pain you think you have to suffer through alone, Sasuke-kun, I want to share it. Let me take some of that pain and suffering away. Your smile is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen, but sadly I've only seen it once or twice. Your true smile that is. Sasuke-kun, I'll say it again. I love you, and if you let me, I'll stay by your side and I'll do my best to help heal those wounds that have caused you to suffer for so long. Sakura finished no longer able to hold back any more of her tears. Those words, much like with Naruto, Sasuke began to weep. Sakura then embraced Sasuke as tears fell. The crying boy for the first time ever, returned the embrace. Thank you, Sakura. You have no idea how much you just did for me. If it weren't for you, I'd have given up on life. I'm grateful, Sasuke said as the two broke their embrace just as Ino, Tsunade, Kakashi, and Jiraiya entered the room. So, you are awake, the fifth Hokage said walking over to check on the boy. How are you feeling? Weak, But alright, I suppose, Sasuke answered. Good. You've recovered with no side effect. That's good, Tsunade said. Hokage-sama. Aye. Sasuke was suddenly interrupted rather rudely. Ow, 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 ow. Sasuke yelled as 7 large lumps emerged on his head as a furious Tsunade stood before him. Hokage-sama. Sasuke-kun's injured. You shouldn't do that, Sakura said. You're damn right he's injured. His brain's broken or something. Sasuke, you've got to be the dumbest genius I've ever met. Tsunade yelled. I guess I deserved that, Sasuke said. Oh yeah, you sure do. Tsunade yelled as she bashed Sasuke again. Ow, Sasuke yelled. Let's see. Here's one for betraying the village. Tsunade yelled, bashing him on the head again. Oh yes, betraying your comrades. Tsunade hit him again. Oh, did I mention betraying the village yet? Oh, and trying to kill Naruto. Oh, and for trying to kill your friends. Oh yeah, and of course here's another one for betraying the village. And here's one for almost killing Naruto again. And here's one more for just being a complete and total dumb. Tsunade finished hitting him about 10 more times as she fumed. Tsunade. Jiraiya said her name almost in fear. Oh, great, you just gave the boy a concussion, maybe even brain damage, Jiraiya said to the woman, hoping she'd calm down. Discover more. Books and literature. Books. He's lucky I don't kill him. Tsunade yelled. You're lucky. I originally had planned that for your punishment you were to receive kicking 300 times over from me. Thank Jiraiya and Kakashi for saving you from that. Tsunade continued to yell as she approached Sasuke again. Now you listen to me, if you ever try this kind of crap again, especially trying to kill my little brother, I swear I'll kill you and then drag your back from hell and kill you all over again. Now you focus on recovering, your fate will be decided after that, Tsunade finished as she stomped out of the room and down the halls. Wow, Sasuke, you got off lucky. I had expected something a lot worse, Kakashi said to the boy as Jiraiya walked up to Sasuke. You know, if Tsunade hadn't done all that, I might have. Hell, if it weren't for Naruto you'd probably have ended up being killed as a traitor. But like Tsunade said, don't try that again. We can't have Naruto dying before he can become Hokage, Jiraiya said with a smile. That boy is destined to unite all of Konoha, can't have your grudge screwing things up, Jiraiya said as he started out the door. He stopped and turned back to the group and looked over at his student. Ino, I know you care about Sasuke, but please visit Naruto, he is your teammate after all. Yes, sensei, I was going to go see Naruto-kun after this, Ino said, smiling at her sensei. Interesting, when did she start calling him Naruto-kun? Jiraiya wondered to himself. Naruto, it seems you truly are accepted by many people now, Jiraiya said to himself as he made his way down the hall. Well, Sakura, Sasuke-kun, Kakashi-sensei, excuse me but I'm going to go check on my teammate, Ino said, leaving the room. Kakashi now walked over to the boy. Kakashi-sensei, are you going to yell or hit me too? Sasuke asked. No. I will say this though, I'm very disappointed in you. I believed you were special. But it seems you were unable to learn what strength is. However, I'm glad you're back, maybe now you'll get the meaning. It'll be hard from now on, the only thing that saved you was the fact that you're an Uchiha. Trust will take time to earn back though. Please, if not for me, then for yourself, please learn from your mistakes, and try your hardest to get back on the right track. With those words Sasuke and Sakura were left alone, as their former sensei left the room. I will earn back the trust of my comrades, I'll become strong like Naruto, and I'll protect the people who are important to me, Sasuke thought to himself, a newfound fire burned brightly in his eyes. Meanwhile, back in Naruto's room as Ino and Iruka both made their exit, Naruto and Hinata sat alone. Naruto-kun, I'm so glad you're alright now, Hinata said, breaking the silence. I'm sorry, Hinata-chan. I know you were worried. But I'm fine now. I'm more concerned to know if you're alright, Naruto asked the shy girl. What do you mean, Naruto-kun? Hinata asked, looking quite puzzled. Are you alright, being around me? And now that I'm fully merged with the demon. My eyes even make me look like demon. I'm sure I won't be able to control my chakra. It might be dangerous to be around me, Naruto told the girl. Naruto-kun, you're not a demon, Hinata said as she began to blush. Why, you're my precious Naruto-kun, the person I love more than anything or anyone in this world. What Hinata said caused Naruto to turn a bright crimson shade. Hinata-chan, so I wasn't hearing things back then, why you really do love me? Naruto asked. Yes, I love you with all that I am, Hinata replied firmly. Hinata-chan, I love you too. Why, you truly made me feel happy. I'm so glad I'm alive. To think all the years of pain, you've easily been able to make those sad feelings go away, Naruto said. Good, you've given me so much strength, I'm starting to believe in myself more. I want to be able to end your suffering forever. Please allow me to stay by your side, Hinata pleaded with the boy. Hinata-chan, does that mean, you'll stay with me? Naruto asked. I would like nothing more than to have you stay by my side. If you're willing to do that, I believe I can grow even stronger, Naruto told the girl. The two are interrupted by a knock at the door. They turn to see the lazy Chunin standing there. Shikamaru. Naruto asked looking surprised. What the hell are you doing here? Naruto asked. Sigh. Don't ask me, ask the troublesome girl here, Shikamaru said pointing to the girl who entered the room holding Shikamaru's arm. Hey, Naruto-kun, how are you? The blonde Sand Genin asked. Tamari-chan, I'm fine, Naruto answered. That's good. I heard you were hurt really bad, so I got this lazy to bring me here, Tamari told Naruto. Ah, I see. Well, what are your two brothers up to? Naruto asked. Discover more. Books and literature. They're coming. Gaara's lagging a little bit behind because he's forcefully dragging Kankuro with his sand. It's pretty funny actually, Tamari said as a small commotion could be heard. Oh, here they come, Tamari said as Gaara arrived literally dragging his brother. Come on Gaara, let go of me. The sand puppet user yelled. Shut up. Gaara replied. Damn it, let me go. Shut up. Gaara. I don't even like the brat, why do I have to visit him? Shut up. Gaara continued calmly as his brother yelled, kicked, and screamed down the hall and finally into Naruto's room. Upon seeing this, Naruto cracked up with laughter. Oh man, you're right Tamari-chan, this is hilarious, Naruto said laughing as Gaara approached the blonde, finally releasing his hold on Kankuro. Finally I can leave, Kankuro said as he ran toward the door, only to be knocked back on the ground as he ran smack into a door made of pure sand. Ah, come on, damn it Gaara. Naruto. How are you? Gaara quietly asked. Oh, I'm fine Gaara, what about you? Naruto replied. I was concerned, Gaara said. Sorry, I've made a lot of people worry. But I'm fine now, I'm healed up. I'm sure I'll be able to go home by tomorrow, Naruto told the redhead. That's good. Do you mind if I stay a while? Gaara asked, the room staring intently on Gaara and Naruto, watching the two speak to each other. Sure, that would be great. The more my friends come to hang out, the better I feel, Naruto said with a smile. Well, Shika-kun and I are leaving, glad to see you're alright Naruto-kun, Tamari said grabbing Shikamaru's arm again as they began to walk out the door. Hey, why the hell does she get to leave? Kankuro yelled. It's because she has a date, Gaara calmly replied. Wait a minute, I wouldn't do anything as troublesome as taking this crazy girl out on a date, Shikamaru replied. Have fun on your date Shikamaru. Naruto yelled as Tamari now dragged Shikamaru away. Kankuro now tried to escape again only to walk into the door of sand again. Damn it. Hey Gaara, please I have to go to the bathroom, Kankuro said pleading with his brother. Fine. Gaara replied letting down the sand. Kankuro, Gaara called to his brother. 30 minutes, if you're not back, I'll have to hunt you down and kill you, Gaara said almost coldly. Fine, I got it, Kankuro said running out of the room. Gee Gaara-san, why you wouldn't really kill your brother would you? Hinata asked nervously. Probably not, Gaara calmly replied causing the room to go silent for a minute until Naruto suddenly started laughing, and Hinata began to giggle. Oh man, Gaara made a joke, now that's so awesome. Naruto said happily. The three spent the next hour quietly talking, or actually more like listening to Naruto's crazy stories quietly after the loud ninja had been threatened by a nurse to have his tongue surgically removed if he didn't quiet down. Finally, Gaara got up to leave. Well, I must go. I have a brother to hunt down. If you hear a scream, don't worry. It just means I found him, Gaara said, turning with an actual grin on his face as he left the room. See you later, Gaara, Naruto said, watching his friend leave. Well, Naruto-kun, that was pretty interesting. I used to be so afraid of him. Now he just seems like a nice, quiet person, Hinata said. Well, it's because everyone in his village used to be afraid him. I'm just glad I was able to help him. It was one of the first times I was glad I had the Kyuubi inside of me, because I knew his pain and in the end I was able to help him, Naruto told the girl. I see. Well, Naruto-kun, you really should get some rest. Depending on what Tsunade-sama says, I'll be back to get you tomorrow, Hinata told Naruto as she headed toward the door. Hinata-chan, wait please, Naruto called her back. What is it? Hinata asked, walking over to Naruto. She's temporarily surprised as Naruto grabbed her and pulled her toward him. Naruto-kun. Hinata-chan. May I? Naruto nervously asked, and before he could finish Hinata nodded a yes, as she already knew what he was going to ask as she leaned in closer and closed her eyes. Naruto did the same and finally, their lips met for the first time. They stayed like that for what seemed like forever. Then they finally broke the kiss and blushed as they stared into each other's eyes. Naruto-kun, I love you so much, Hinata whispered to the boy. I love you to Hinata-chan, Naruto whispered back as they share one more kiss before Hinata left for the night. Naruto fell asleep, his face grinning as he slept peacefully. Hey, how long is this moron going to sleep? Kiba yelled as he stood over Naruto's bed. Kiba-kun, that's not right to yell like that. Naruto-kun has just recovered from his injuries, Hinata told the dog ninja. That's right, you moron. Leave Naruto-kun alone. Unlike you, he's useful. Ino yelled. Ino, you're just as loud as Kiba, the pink-haired genin told her friend. What's going on? Naruto said as he started to awaken. Discover more. Books and literature. I'm sorry, Naruto-kun, Hinata said as she leaned down and kissed the blonde's cheek, causing him to smile, and causing the group of genin in the room to gasp in shock. Hinata-sama, when did the two of you? Neji started to ask. I'm sorry, Neji-ni-san, Hinata interrupted. That's so cute. Naruto and Hinata are finally a couple now, Ino said with a smile. Good morning, Hinata-chan, Naruto said, finally waking up. Good morning, Naruto-kun, Hinata said. What is everyone doing here? Naruto asked, looking quite puzzled. Well, we came to see you. Sakura was visiting the Uchiha, and Kiba and I have both been busy. So we wanted to see you before you got out, Neji told the blonde. Oh, well, I'm glad you came. Sakura-chan, how is he? Naruto asked the pink-haired genin. Sasuke-kun, he's doing fine. He finally woke up. Hokage-sama was very mad at him, said he'll have to face punishment after he recovers, Sakura told her former teammate. Discover more. Books and literature. That can be expected. The damn traitor should have his kicked some more, Kiba said. Discover more. Books and literature. Funny, Hokage-sama wanted to do the same thing, but decided against it even though she beat Sasuke-kun up pretty good anyway, Sakura replied. Ha, it serves him right, Kiba said, smiling. Kiba, he's back in Konoha. He chose Konoha in the end, don't be too tough on him. If Naruto believes in him, then I will as well, Neji told his teammate. If you say so, I don't trust him yet, Kiba said. Sasuke will be back soon, Naruto said. I know him, he'll be valuable to us once again. He'll earn back all of our trust. Why do you believe in the guy who tried to kill you, Naruto-kun? Ino asked. That's simple, because he's my brother, Naruto said with a smile. Naruto-kun, what's up with your eyes? Ino asked as she noticed the change in Naruto's eyes. Oh, them. Naruto realized everyone was now staring at him. Alright, Neji and Hinata-chan know. Let me ask you guys something, Kiba, Ino-chan, Sakura-chan. Sure, Naruto, ask me anything, Sakura said. Ino and Kiba also nodded. Why, you guys are my friends, right? I mean, really, if I told you something you probably wouldn't look at me any different or hate me, right? Naruto asked looking at the genin. Of course we won't hate you. What's this about? Sakura asked. 13 years ago, Konoha was attacked by a giant demon, the Kyuubi no Kitsune, Naruto started. Yeah, that's in all of our academy history books, what about it? Sakura asked. Sakura, quiet and let him talk. This is very hard for him, Neji told the girl. The fourth knew he couldn't defeat the Kyuubi and thus sealed it away. He chose to seal the demon inside a newborn child. That child was me, Naruto said, turning his head in shame. Oh no, that's horrible. Why would they seal a demon inside a child? Ino asked. Naruto, may I? Neji asked, looking over at Naruto, wanting permission to tell the group. Sure, Naruto said with a nod. An entity such as the demon couldn't be sealed in just anything. Sealing it inside an object, the object would have most likely been destroyed trying to hold the demon's capacity. They chose a child simply because an established adult or person couldn't handle it being full developed. A newborn child is different, however. The soul and the mind are at its purest form. The body hasn't adjusted to life yet, thus it can handle being the vassal much better. Instead of an already established body having to get used to a foreign source, the newborn still underdeveloped and still has room to grow and adjust. It's just a theory after all, but I believe that it's the truth, Neji told the group. Yeah, they chose me. And now you know my biggest, darkest secret, Naruto said. Discover more. Books and literature. Books. Don't worry, Naruto, we don't think differently of you. You're still Naruto to me, Sakura said, giving the boy a hug. Discover more. Books. Books and literature. Yeah, I've gained a lot of respect for you. You're truly amazing, Naruto-kun, Ino said, hugging the boy and giving him a peck on the cheek. You guys are truly amazing, Naruto said with a smile. Hey, I know you and I never been the greatest of friends, but I hope that can change, Kiba said, extending his hand. Sure, I'd like that, Naruto said, shaking Kiba's hand. Well, I got to go, just figured I'd stop by and see you, Kiba said, leaving the room. Yeah, Sakura and I are going to go shopping since both teams have the day off, Ino said as the two girls waved goodbye as they left the room. What is it, Neji? Naruto asked as he noticed Neji smiling right at him. It's nothing, I just find it funny how popular you've become. Not funny in a bad way, it's great you're finally being accepted, Neji said. Yeah, and it feels great too. I've never been happier. I've got Sasuke back. He's like a brother to me and I got so many friends, especially you. I honestly feel like you're becoming my best friend, and of course I have Hinata-chan here, who I love more than life itself, Naruto replied. Well, to me, you are my best friend, and I'm glad Hinata-sama and you are together. You've done her wonders. You should see her fight. She's amazing, Neji said, causing Hinata to blush. Wow. Really? Hinata-chan, that's so great, Naruto said, causing Hinata to blush even more. And no, I'm not that good, Hinata said. Nonsense, you're being too modest, Neji told the girl. Knock, knock, Tsunade said, entering the room. Tsunade Obeken, Naruto yelled and was then met with a fist. Naruto, I've accepted the fact that you'll never call me Hokage-sama or Tsunade-sama, but please stop calling me Tsunade Obeken. How about Tsunade Ne-chan? You know, like you call Shizune. Tsunade said to the boy. I guess I can try to call you that, Tsunade Oba. I mean Ne-chan, Naruto said, correcting himself before Tsunade can hit him again. Hinata. Tsunade called to the girl. Yes, what is it, Tsunade-sama? Hinata replied, walking over to the Hokage. From now on you call me Tsunade Ne-chan as well, alright? I mean, this idiot is my little brother after all, and since you two are together maybe this will make it easier for him to remember, Tsunade said to the girl. Yes, I understand, Tsunade Ne-chan, Hinata said with a smile. Oh, and Naruto, you're free to go home now. I wanted to let you know that your team will resume training in 2 days. I want you to relax until then. I know you're totally healed and all, just take it as your big sister is worried about you, Tsunade said, leaving the room. Great. It's ramen time, Naruto said, jumping out of bed. Hey Naruto, catch, Tsunade said, walking back into the room and tossing him his wallet. What? Gamma-chan, Naruto yelled, looking surprised. What were you doing with it? Naruto yelled as he opened it. What? Naruto practically fell to the floor when he saw the large sum of money in his now stuffed wallet. Tsunade ne-chan, what's this for? Naruto asked, looking very puzzled. It's a reward. Use it to buy you some new clothes. Take your girlfriend out shopping, hell take Neji with you. You guys can spend the day together and stuff, Tsunade said, waving goodbye. Tsunade ne-chan is so kind, right Naruto-kun? Hinata said, turning to the man she loved. Yes, that's why she's one of my most precious people, Naruto said. Alright, let's get some ramen and then go out. Neji want to come? Naruto asked. Discover more. Books and literature. Books. Yeah, Neji ni-san, you should come with us, enjoy yourself a little more, Hinata said to her cousin. Discover more. Books. Books and literature. Sure, if I can bring someone with us, Neji said with a small blush on his face. What Neji blushing? It must be a girl. Sure, who do we have to go get? Naruto asked. Tenten. Neji quietly answered. Oh, Tenten-chan, cool, let's get her. Make it a double date, Naruto said as he dressed in his usual orange pants, and as he reached for his shirt, he suddenly realized he's not wearing his necklace. Oh no, my necklace. Tsunade ne-chan gave me that. Where the hell is it? Naruto yelled as he started to freak out. Naruto-kun, it's alright. I have it here, Hinata said, pulling the necklace out of her pocket. Oh good, I'm glad. I thought it was lost during the fight, Naruto said, sighing with relief. No, it's quite odd, it was on you the whole time. It should have been blown off when you released all that chakra, but it never even moved, Hinata told the boy. Yeah, that's the power of the necklace, Naruto said with a smile as he put on a black shirt and put on his necklace. Alright, now we can go, Naruto said as the three left the hospital. Alright, Neji, lead the way to Tenten's place, Naruto said as they followed Neji. Alright, I will, Neji said as the two followed Neji for several minutes. The genin arrived at the shopping district and were now standing in front of a weapons store. Neji, this is a weapons shop. Are you going to buy her a weapon or something? Naruto asked. No, Tenten is a weapons expert. So of course her family owns a weapons shop, Neji replied. Oh, Naruto said as they turned to see the girl running up calling Neji's name. What's up, Neji? Tenten said to the group. Oh, Hinata-chan, Naruto-kun, why are you all here? Well, we're going on a date, thought we'd make it a double, Naruto said with a grin, causing Neji to slightly blush. Tenten, would you like to go out with us? Neji asked. Neji, sure. I'd love that. Hang on, let me wash up and I'll be right out, Tenten said with a blush as she turned and ran back in her house. It's hard to believe Neji ni-san, being nervous about anything, Hinata said to her cousin. I've never been very good with girls. Tenten, I believe, has liked me for a while. I've always found her cute and she always helps me train, Neji told Hinata. Tenten finally returned and joined the group. Her hair let out of her normal hairstyle and this time her hair was in two long pigtails. Neji and even Naruto blushed at her. Wow, Tenten-chan, you look really cute with your hair like that. Naruto yelled. Thank you, Naruto-kun, I like it like this too. I usually put it up when I'm out training and on missions to keep it out of the way, Tenten replied, blushing at the two boys' stares. So where are we going to? Tenten asked. Well, first we're going to get some ramen, then go shopping. Tsunade ne-chan gave me some extra money, Naruto told the girl. Alright, cool, let's go, Tenten said as the four head to Ichiraku's, or Naruto's second home. The four arrived and immediately sit down and order. The genin conversed lightly and awaited the order as Tenten noticed Naruto's necklace. Naruto-kun, this may sound weird, but why are you wearing a necklace? I mean, it's really nice, I just never seen you with it, Tenten asked. It was a gift from Tsunade ne-chan. I sort of won it in a bet with her. It was her most valuable possession and she gave it to me when I kept the promise I made to her, Naruto answered. I see, what kind of bet? Tenten asked. Well, we bet that I couldn't master the Rasengan within 1 week, and I did. I used it against Kabuto, when we fought him and Orochimaru, while Ero Sennin and I were trying to convince Tsunade ne-chan to come back to Konoha and become Hokage, Naruto answered. It's my most precious possession, that in my Konoha head protector that Iruka-sensei gave me, Naruto told the girl. Tenten-chan, how is it going with your team? Hinata asked, changing the subject. Yeah, how are Lee and Guy-sensei? Neji asked. Lee and Guy-sensei haven't changed. The team is all right. Choji is surprisingly impressive. Ever since he came back, there were concerns that he wouldn't be as good of a ninja anymore because he permanently lost all his fat. But his family's secret techniques are quite good, Tenten answered. Choji's clan has secret techniques that don't deal with being fat. Naruto asked. I guess so. From what I understand, they've never been used because nobody has ever survived the effects of those pills. But the Akamichi clan did indeed develop some very special techniques that can only be used after surviving the pill's effects, Tenten answered. Wow, I got to go see Choji sometime and watch him train. I know he's gotten quite popular with the girls lately as well, Naruto said. Yeah, I've especially seen Ino around a lot more lately, Tenten said. Ino-chan likes Choji. That's weird, but hey, if they can be happy then that's cool, Naruto said as the group's food finally arrived. Naruto immediately downed his and called for seconds. 30 minutes later, Tenten and Hinata finished their 2 bowls, Neji finished his 3rd and Naruto finished only his 14 bowl of ramen. Naruto and Neji paid for the food, and the 4 left to head back toward the shopping district. The 4 took their time searching through the different stores. Hinata and Tenten even managed to get the guys into some clothing stores. Neji-kun, I found this cool sweatshirt. I think you'd look good in it. You can try it on over what you got on now, Tenten said, handing Neji a white, hooded sweatshirt. Neji tried it on. Well, Neji asked. Nice. The great thing about it is you don't have to wear it only in the winter time, Tenten said to the boy as he took it off. Sure, why not? I guess I'll take it. Neji decided to buy it, causing Tenten to jump up and down in joy. Meanwhile, Hinata was trying to help Naruto pick out a few things, including a new outfit. Naruto-kun, come on. This place has a lot of really good clothing, Hinata told the boy. Hinata-chan, what's wrong with orange? Naruto asked. Naruto-kun, please try some new clothes for me. Hinata asked, putting up her puppy dog-like eyes. I can't refuse that, Naruto said, pouting. Fine then, I guess I have no choice. Naruto looked through the clothing and managed to pick out a few pair of pants. They were black cargo pants, equipped with 4 pockets on both sides, and 2 in the back. Naruto found a new black jacket, similar to his old orange jacket. He also got a sweatshirt similar to Neji's, only dark blue. The girls now dragged the boys over to the woman's clothes. Tenten introduced Hinata to the Chinese dresses, which Hinata shyly tried one on. She decided to buy it when she came out of the dressing room, and Naruto almost fell over in shock at the sight. His blush was intense, and for the first time in his life, he was at a loss for words. Neji had to smack him to get his attention. After about 5 hours of shopping, the 4 stopped at a non-ramen restaurant for dinner. Wow, today was fun. Thank you so much for inviting me, Neji-kun, Tenten said to Neji as she leaned over and kissed him on the cheek, causing him to blush. Sure, Neji managed to say, still sitting in shock. Well, Hinata-chan and I are going to use the restroom, be back in a few, Tenten said as she and Hinata got up and left. Neji, so, are you going to ask her out? Ask her to be your girlfriend, Naruto said, poking the Hyuga boy in his side. What? Are you serious? Neji said as his face turned a deep red. Hell yeah, I am. Look, Tenten likes you. A lot, I'll bet. You obviously like her. I say ask her out. I'll be here cheering you on. She won't say no, Naruto said, smiling. Right, Neji said. I don't suppose you could take Hinata out of the room after we eat and then maybe I'll tell her. Can you manage that? Neji asked. Oh yeah, that will be easy, Naruto said as the girls returned. Several minutes later, the food arrived and the 4 ate their meals. After the meals were done, Naruto activated his plan. Hey, Hinata-chan, I want to show you something cool I found outside as we were coming in, want to come? Naruto said, pulling at her arm. Sure. But Naruto-kun. Neji-ni-san and Tenten-chan. Hinata stuttered. Don't worry, we'll be right back, Naruto said, pulling the girl to her feet and dragging her off. The 2 exited the building. So what did you want to show me? Hinata asked. Nothing. Neji wanted me to set it up so he could be alone with Tenten for a minute. He's going to ask her to become his girlfriend, Naruto told the girl, causing Hinata to gasp in shock. I don't believe it. Neji ni-san is asking her out. That's wonderful, Hinata said with a smile. In the meantime, the genin sat at the table. Tenten wondered where Naruto and Hinata went, and Neji nervously sat getting ready to tell Tenten how he felt. Tenten. Neji quietly called the girl's name. Yes. You want something, Neji-kun? Tenten asked. Tenten, there's something I'd like to tell you, Neji said, slightly blushing. I've known that you've liked me for a while now, and I wanted to let you know that I liked you too, Neji slowly told the girl. Neji-kun, does this mean? Tenten started to ask, blushing deeply. Yes, Tenten, would you be my girlfriend? Neji finally managed to ask the girl. I can't believe it. I mean, yes, of course I will. Thanks for listening. In the next part. In the meantime, please leave a review, I would love to hear your feedback. Especially if it helps me improve the overall story.